The ELTIS-SLEP equating study has been completed. We can now help organizations transition from the SLEP to the ELTIS test. This tutorial will help you understand how to use the score conversion tables. To begin with, you need to know how many questions the student answered correctly in each test section. The highest possible number correct score for listening is 24, and for reading it is 26. Once you have these two number correct scores, just add them together for the student's total number correct score, which we call the student's total ELTIS raw score. The highest possible total raw score is 50. The score is called raw because it is not yet ready for use in decision making. Raw scores need to be converted into standard scores because this helps get rid of small differences in difficulty between alternate test forms. The ELTIS standard score is a 3-digit number that ranges between a theoretical minimum of 100 and a theoretical maximum of 300. You find the ELTIS standard score in a score conversion table. There is one score conversion table for ELTIS Form 1 and another conversion table for ELTIS Form 2. The tables are available on the ELTIS website and in an information brief and in all future editions of the examiner's manual. It is very important that you use the correct score conversion table for the form of the test that was administered. For organizations that are transitioning from the SLEP to the ELTIS, we have published a special form of the ELTIS score conversion table with 3 columns. One for total ELTIS raw score, one for the corresponding ELTIS standard score, and one for the SLEP equivalent of each score. Using these tables is simple. Let's take a look at the ELTIS score conversion tables in the light of an example. Let's say that student A took ELTIS Form 1 and got 20 answers correct in listening and 20 answers correct in reading. Student A's total ELTIS raw score is 20 plus 20, which equals 40. Since the student took ELTIS Form 1, we use Table 1 to find the score conversions. Using the table, we find the ELTIS raw score of 40. Next to that, on the same row, is the student's ELTIS standard score, which is 215. To the right of that, you find the SLEP equivalent, which is 47. Now, let's say that a different student, student B, took ELTIS Form 2 and got the same number of answers correct, 20 in listening and 20 in reading. Student B's total ELTIS raw score is also 20 plus 20, which equals 40. Since student B took ELTIS Form 2, we now use Table 2 to find the score conversions. Using this table, we find the row with the ELTIS raw score of 40, and we see that it corresponds to an ELTIS standard score of 230, which is equal to a SLEP score of 54. Now we are ready to make decisions, and we can use the SLEP equivalent to guide them. For example, let's say that an organization required a SLEP scaled score of 50 or higher. The corresponding ELTIS standard score requirement is 222 or higher. Using this decision rule, student B would be accepted, but student A would not. Another organization may have used a somewhat flexible SLEP standard score requirement, with scores around 50 being acceptable, and they might accept student A conditionally. They might require extra English tuition, for example. You will find a SLEP equivalent for all the ELTIS standard scores in Tables 1 and 2 to guide your decisions about the requirements.